The Tribe used the long ball and some clutch two-out hitting to send the Orioles to their 6th straight loss yesterday. Today, the Indians will welcome back a familiar face in Grady Sizemore, who takes the field for the first time since last May in Baltimore. Fausto Carmona vies for his first win and a 3-game sweep of the O's next on Channel 3. It's a cool, windy day here in downtown Cleveland as the Indians try to sweep Baltimore right out of town. Hi again, everyone. I'm Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Tribe playing great baseball right now. They're getting good starting pitching night in, night out. Timely hitting, and they're having big innings offensively. And, Rick, what do you know? They're going to welcome back Grady Sizemore to the lineup just in time.
And a welcome addition. I got to tell you, for all you Grady Sizemore fans, you've been waiting a long time because in the last couple of years, Grady has not had a chance to play a lot of baseball for the Indians because of injuries. The last team he played against was the Baltimore Orioles, so he's going to come back today. He's in that lineup. He's leading off. What a great sight to see Grady Sizemore back in the lineup while the team is playing very good. But, you know, also you got to remember, now with him coming off, Mitch Talbot went on the disabled list. He had some elbow discomfort. Hard to believe he pitched a shutout in 8 innings his last time out, but he is on the DL right now.
Yeah, but the Indians will have to make another move because Talbot's turn of the rotation comes up Tuesday when the Indians are in Kansas City. But for now, Grady Sizemore is in the starting lineup, batting in the old familiar leadoff spot for the Tribe. And these Indian starting pitchers are a big reason for the Indians' success right now, and that brings us to our Chrysler 200 pitching matchup. As we check it out, you've got this afternoon Fausto Carmona looking for that all-elusive first victory of the year, even though he's pitched much better than those numbers would indicate.
Well, he certainly has, but he's going up against Brad Burgesson, who last August pitched a very, very good game against the Tribe, complete game, couple hitters, 1 earned run. He got the win. But for Fausto Carmona, doesn't have a win this year, but in his last 2 starts has been outstanding. In his last start, he made 2 mistakes. A couple of balls left the ballpark, but other than that, he was right on target. The start before that, no runs in 7 innings. He's due to get a little bit of this offense and have a big inning that the Indians have been sharing with everybody else but Fausto.
Well, hopefully Fausto Carmona can join the party, and the Indians look to sweep the Baltimore Orioles here today. Grady Sizemore back in action, back in the starting lineup, and all the exciting action is straight ahead on Channel 3. Sunshine in downtown Cleveland, but man, is it some kind of windy. They're telling us that the wind will gust over 40 miles an hour at times, and it looks like it's blowing from the left field foul pole over to the right field corner. So what that does to the baseball, once it's put in play, is anybody's guess. I was talking to players during batting practice, and they said one ball takes off into the jet stream, and the next ball just dies and falls straight down in center field. Grady Sizemore back in uniform, and man, isn't that a sight for sore eyes?
It really is. I mean, I'm thrilled to
just watch him back in the outfield and just to be up at this level, I'm sure he's excited too. I'll bet you he has a little butterflies. Just thrilled to be back out there. There's no question about it. And if you're an outfielder or a defender today, keep your feet moving.
No such thing as a routine pop-up today. Here's Buck Showalter's starting 9 for Baltimore. Ryan Roberts leading it off, switch hitter. Then Nick Markakis, followed by Derek Lee. Vladimir Guerrero, and then Luke Scott, followed by Mark Reynolds. Felix Pie in the lineup in center field, and then Matt Wieters and Cesar Isturiz.
All right, Fausto Carmona towing the rubber today, making his 4th start, looking for his first win. In his last 2 starts, pitched very, very well. 14 2/3 innings, only 6 hits in his last 2 starts. He did make a couple of mistakes. I mean, they hit a couple balls out of the ballpark in his last start, got beat 2-0, but he has been pitching very, very well. If he continues to do that, he's going to get a lot of wins over the course of the year.
So Fausto hoping to join the ranks of the win column. Into the line, and today's first pitch is low for ball 1. 48 degrees is our game time temperature. Smash just foul, first base side.
Fausto this year has really done a nice job against left-handed hitters. You know, that used to be his problem. They're hitting 147, just 5 for 34 off him this year.
In there for a strike, and the count is 1-2. Well, this Indians team has made it a habit of getting off to a good start as the 1-2 pitch misses outside. Now, part of that, obviously, when you're on the road and you bat first, is getting the early lead.
Score early.
But a lot of it comes down to pitching well early in the game to allow your offense to get some traction, keep the other team off the scoreboard, and the Indians have done a great job of that. Weekly grounded to short as Drupal Cabrera gobbles it up, throws him out. Now, the Indians definitely had their problems in the first couple of games of the year, but they've certainly reversed their field.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot Indians defense this afternoon. In the outfield from left to right, it's going to be Buck, Sizemore, and Chu. On the infield, Hanahan, Cabrera, Laporta, Santana. That is more power, or more savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
There's Nick Markakis, 0 for 9 in the series. Looks at a ball outside. Carmona the 1-0. And again, another weak chopper to short. As Drupal Cabrera says, I'll take infield practice all day long. 2 away. The umpires today, Ed Hickok's calling the balls and strikes. Corey Blazer at first, Brian Onora at second, Alfonso Marquez down at third. That will bring up Derek Lee. And comes in batting .224. In the first 2 games of the year, the Indians gave up 3 first-inning runs, which isn't a huge number. It's not an insurmountable problem. But in the last 12 games, not a 1.
To me, that's the big thing. When you can go out there and get 1, 2, 3, or get your offense into that dugout, especially if you're at home, it's great. And if you can have that lead and you go out there as a pitcher to put a 0 on the board, it's outstanding.
4 for 39. That's some terrific pitching. And remember, Rick, last year, and I know you can't compare years, but last year a big problem was they were behind early a lot.
Well, that happens. You run through cycles like that. You go through it.
Popped in the air to right field. Chu in, fighting the sun, makes the catch. And Fausto cruises through the first. Indians coming to bat. presented by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Big hand for Grady Sizemore as he's back in the lineup leading off. Then it's Asdrubal Cabrera and Shin-Soo Choo, Santana, Hafner, and Orlando Cabrera in the middle. Travis Buck, Matt Laporta, and Jack Hanahan rounding it out. I talked to Grady Sizemore during the Indians' first homestand, and I could tell then he was itching to get back into the lineup, but he still had a few medical hurdles to clear. They wanted to test the knee, make sure he could play back-to-back days consecutively, make sure that it wouldn't cause him any issues, and he passed every test with flying colors.
Well, they've taken all the precautionary measures. I mean, you're going to err on the caution side of everything, but he's had a long, hard road to come back from that microfracture surgery. It's not an easy surgery to do and to deal with, and not many people have had it done.
A little bit low, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
But, I mean, you just want to play again. I mean, for the last 2 years, he's been in Arizona. He's been sitting watching. He's an everyday player. He's a gamer. You got to play. If you don't play, you don't feel a part of the team.
Broke his bat, pulls it on the right side. Roberts is there, and he throws him out 1 away. Really got inside on Sizemore for the first out here today.
Well, Burgesson, he's a 25-year-old, 6'2", 210 right-hander, primarily a sinker ball pitcher. But you can see his record 0-1, a 318 earned run average. And I told you earlier, his one start against the Indians, complete game, allowed 1 run on 2 hits last August. He was 8-12 last year with an ERA of just under 5, but he was 4-6 at home, 4-6 on the road. Very similar ERAs, but he had problems with left-handed hitters. They hit over 300. They had 13 homers off him last year. And I'll tell you, the first pitch to Grady when he jammed him or when he got him out on that pitch, that's a pitch probably that he has to be successful at, is getting inside to the left-handed hitters. He's facing 7 of them today in Manny Acta's lineup.
1-2 the count. And Asdrubal stays alive. Right back to the screen, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Orioles in their longest losing streak since Buck Showalter took over, having lost 6 in a row. But a guy like Brad Burgesson points to Buck Showalter's arrival as a revival for his young career. He was demoted twice in the first half of last year. But after August 1st, a season ago, Burgesson was 5-3 with a 2.88 ERA under Showalter. There's a solid ground ball, backhanded nicely by Roberts, staggering throw, and it's in time. Nice play by Brian Roberts for out number 2. Here's our great clip of the game from yesterday, brought to you by Great Clips. Shin-Soo Choo going opposite field, up and gone. Down the vomitory. Choo with 2 homers on the year, 6 driven in. Relax. You're at Great Clips. Choo takes a strike, 3 for 8 in the series. One ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, you can see him trying to get inside and move left-handers off the plate. He's primarily a sinker ball pitcher.
You can see Burgesson's jersey flapping in the wind that sustained 25 miles an hour today, and as I said, gusting at times up over 40.
Yeah, you got to run everything out today as a hitter.
A little bit outside.
And if Carmona continues, the Indians will be happy. Ball's on the ground.
Chu just stays alive, flicked it back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, bottom of the first, no score here at Progressive Field.
Yeah, it was never fun playing a baseball game when it was windy. You know, you didn't mind the cold so much. You know, if it drizzled or rained on and off, you didn't mind that. But in the wind, especially wind like it is today, man, it whips so much. It's hard to hear out there, first of all. You can't call anybody off because for some strange reason you just don't hear, and it does a number with the baseball.
It really distorts reality, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Because balls that appear to be pop-ups are sometimes flying over your head now.
Yeah, I mean, and you can't hear the crack of the bat like you normally would.
Out of play.
You just don't get a true judgment on anything.
And you just saw at the end of the Orioles dugout, Adam Jones, the Orioles' terrific young center fielder. So Felix P.A. has the challenge today out in center field. Hasn't played in a while. Now he's out there on one of the more challenging days for an outfielder. Bouncer to second. Burgesson does a nice job to cover the bag, and they get Chu to end the inning. 3 ground balls to second, and the Indians go 1-2-3. Is brought to you by McDonald's. Get a home run with the delicious frappe or real fruit smoothie from McDonald's. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. And by AT&T. Here in Cleveland, we go to the second inning. Vladimir Guerrero will lead off for Baltimore. And a ground ball to third base. Jack Hanahan, the old room service hop, quickly throws him out 1 away. I talked to Mitch Talbot before the ball game. Said he's going to be shut down for a week. Don't do anything. Keep that elbow nice and calm and relaxed. And Katie Witham joins us now for more on the ailing Indians right-hander.
Yeah, well, Matt, Ricky, as you would expect, pitching 8 shutout innings on Monday, you're going to be sore after that. Well, Mitch was sore even a few days, even Wednesday, so they decided they needed to get an MRI. They saw in that elbow some inflammation and a slight sprain. They're being a little more cautious than what they usually would, just because, if you remember, he had an elbow injury 2 years ago in 2009. Mitch does say it feels a little different. They don't expect him, as you said, to be out very long. Hopefully we'll see him back in 3 weeks, guys.
All right, thanks, Katie.
He disguises it well. 8 shutout innings. Tell you what, that's I thought he was dealing. He bounced back because in his first start, if you remember, against Boston here, it was cold and he struggled, but he battled his way through that ball game.
Well,
the second one, he was lights out, you know, and it didn't look like he had a problem at all.
Now the 1-1 pitch. He told me that he still felt like he had good velocity when he was throwing the baseball, and obviously he did in that start against Anaheim, but the problem is the soreness just did not go away. And so that led the Indians to delve a little deeper into the elbow issue, and That's when they discovered that, just a slight sprain, but still that's good enough to raise a red flag.
You know what?
And shut
It's
them
early.
down.
Yeah, it's early in the year, and this is how they do things now. I mean, you're going to err on the side of caution. You don't want them to have any damage in there or end up having surgery, so you shut them down for a couple of weeks. It's early in the year, and you see what happens. And Tuesday would be his start in the rotation.
Yeah.
So who's it going to be?
Looks like Genmar Gomez.
Gomez, yeah.
1 ball and 2 strikes. That's Gomez's turn to pitch down at AAA, and he's been throwing the ball well. Full count.
Well, we saw him last year. You know what you're going to get. If he can throw any of his secondary pitches or anything for strikes, he's going to be okay. Well, here you go, April. We're in the second week of the season, and you already got DL problems.
Swung out and missed. He struck him out. 1 down. Fausto Carmona, or excuse me, 2 down. That's the first K for Carmona.
They thought they had him the pitch before, but look at that ball. Just go down. Looked like a changeup at 85.
Yeah, it sure did.
Straight down.
Yeah.
That's his changeup between 84, 85, 86. That hard sinker is, as we know, 92 plus.
Mark Reynolds fouls that one off Santana, and oh boy, that one took a little of the starch out of Santana. Take another look. Did that get him on the shoulder? He's been hit a couple of times on that left shoulder with foul tips, and got him right there again.
It sure did. It may have hit that padding, but you know what that padding does? It doesn't take a lot of the bite off of it. I'll tell you that.
The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count is 1-2. Mark Reynolds is a well-noted swing and a miss guy. He has led the major leagues in strikeouts 3 years in a row, but he has not struck out once in this series. Carmona with the 2-2. Broken bat bouncer up the middle. Cabrera on the run, throws, got him. Sensational play by Asdrubal Cabrera, who already has a trio of assists today. The second inning here at Progressive Field. Kids will be running the bases after the ball game here today. Might be a pretty good workout if they're heading into the wind on some of those.
Yeah, but you know, for them, they don't care. They get to make left turns.
That's
good for
right.
them. It may take them a little longer than normal.
Coming around second. Whoa! That headwind. 1-1 the count for Carlos Santana.
I love the little kids that got to come in and they've got to slide at home and get dirty before they go home.
In for a strike. Two and two the count. Travis Hafner waiting on deck, then Orlando Cabrera. As Santana looks at the ball outside, and the count goes to 3-2. There's a high drive, deep right center field. PA looks up, and it is gone to Souvenir City. Carlos Santana breaks an 0-for-23 slump with his second home run of the year and gives the Indians a 1-0 lead.
Back on top, the Tribe, and I'll tell you, he was really quick to the baseball on that one. Worked the count, full count. Burgesson tries to come in there, and he was quick. Watch how quick his hands were. That ball, he left it up in the zone. Cuts through that wind, gets it into right center field. Santana, second home run of the year. The Indians on top, 1-0.
Now Travis Hafner looks at a first pitch strike. I don't know if this automatically qualifies as you're out of the slump, but man, that's got to feel pretty good for him.
That means that he hit a ball out of the baseball, but his swing was very quick. It wasn't long. He stayed behind it, and I guarantee he wasn't trying to hit a home run. The ball jumped off his bat. I like it. If you just keep that swing, that's a confidence builder, but he's got a ways to go.
You know, we talked about it yesterday. If he gets hot, man, this offense, no telling how good it can be. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. Just as Chu struggled maybe the first 6-7 games of the year, he started to pick it up, although he hasn't caught fire yet.
No. Well, it's tough to get everybody firing at the same time.
Hafner crushes a ball right field, but foul. Up on the Budweiser patio.
Yeah, you talk about nice seats up there where you can get something to eat and drink and enjoy a ball game. Well, they interrupted a little lunch right there. Hafner swing landed into a can of Bud.
The 2-2, and that's foul the other way, out of play. Bowl of soup with a Rawlings crouton. Hafner has hit some balls with some serious thump already this year, which is a great sign. Comes in with a .333 average on the year. He's hit in 10 of the 12 games he's played. Fouled away. Bronk has really taken advantage of his at-bats here at Progressive Field, as has Carlos Santana. Hafner, 11 for 25 at home. That's a .440 average. And the 2-2. Fisted the other way and out of play. Santana, who you saw walking away there, now has 8 hits and 25 at-bats here at Progressive Field. Indians have won 10 of their last 12 coming in with a mark of 10-4 on the year. Tied with Kansas City atop the division standings, and the Indians will go to Kansas City after the game to open a 4-game series with the Royals tomorrow.
Oh, boy, good at bat.
Bronx shoots it into left center. Takes a turn at first, holds with a base hit, his 4th knock in the series.
Great at bat. He was fooled on that pitch, and he fouled off a couple of pitches, 2 strike pitches earlier, and now he gets a base hit. This is a good pitch. Look at that, ball's out of the strike zone, but he didn't pull off it and try and pull it. He just says, okay, boom, I'll just slap it the other way and get a base hit. Last 4 hitters now have gone to 6 or more pitches off Burgesson, and that's a good sign. They're making him work a little bit, but Santana went to the full count, hit the home run. That was a very good at-bat by Hafner. After hitting a long foul home run, he takes a little single to left field.
Here's Orlando Cabrera. He had a big 2-run homer late in yesterday's game. He's just had a knack of getting some key big hits early in this season.
Well, the Indians have had a knack of getting big 2-out base hits this year. And that's his home run increased the lead yesterday with 2 outs from 6 to 8. From a 6-3 game to 8-3, and just pretty much sealed the deal.
Slowly chopped to third. Reynolds throws out Cabrera. Hafner goes into scoring position, 1 away.
Let's check out that O's defense. We haven't had a chance to show you that yet. Scott, P.A., and Markakis in the outfield. Reynolds, Esturis, Roberts, and Lee on the infield. Matt Wieters back in there behind the plate today. Started game number 1.
Here is Travis Buck. Man, did he have a big day yesterday. 3-for-4 with a double. All 3 of his hits came in his first 3 at-bats, and he really smoked the ball. It's going to be an interesting decision for the Tribe come Tuesday. The 0-1 pitch. Because essentially they've got
you got
one
to get
too many
rid of a
outfielders.
position player. Exactly. That's the first thing that pops to mind. You have 5 outfielders now, and there's no reason for that.
Now the 1-1 to Buck. Chopped up the middle. Roberts fields it, throws him out at first, and Hafner goes over to third base, 2 away. Don't forget to log on to STOHD.com for the latest on the local sports scene, for the very best information on the Tribe and the Browns and anything happening, especially on the local sports scene. STOHD.com is your web source. 2 down, a runner at third for Matt Laporta. Laporta has a fondness for Baltimore pitching in his young career. Burgesson has him flailing away. It's 0-2. Burgesson, pitch count now up to 40, as you saw 20 pitches already in this inning alone. Oh-2 is swung on and missed, and he's out of the inning. But Carlos Santana's second home run of the year has the Tribe staked to an early 1-0 lead. Back here, top of the third. I want to remind you to stick around later in the game to see our Miller Taste Greatness moment. Now, I'll give you a little heads up. It involves the Baltimore Orioles first base coach, former Indian Wayne Kirby. Bottom third of the Baltimore order due up here in the third inning. Felix P.A., Matt Wieters, Cesar Izturis. P.A. getting his first start of the year in center field today.
Yeah, tough to get a start out there when you have Adam Jones. But he's resting against a tough right-hander.
You know, a guy like P.A. also, you know, he loses out because of the additions they made in the offseason.
Right. Well, yeah, because they signed the veterans like Guerrero, who DHs, where Scott was in that position last year.
Right.
He used to play left field. Yes, he does. But, I mean, the guy that can play a couple different positions, you're going to have to if you want to get some playing time.
Swing and a miss. PA says he got a piece of it, but home plate umpire Ed Hickok says, no, you're out. Buck Showalter, he's going to come out and argue. He's saying he foul tipped it.
You know what? He's just sticking up for his player. His player believes that he fouled the ball. And home plate umpire Ed Hickok saying he didn't touch it. Let's take a look. See how close.
No, he never touched it.
Ball was a foot in front of home plate. At least from that angle it looked like it. No, I don't think he did. So, Buck, you know what? When he sees his player argue, you almost have to come out and just get an explanation.
Well, not only that, but, you know, he's lost 6 in a row. So he's going to take every opportunity he can to try and fire his club up.
The longest streak since he's taken over as Baltimore manager last year. Longest prior to this was 4.
Matt Wieters, the switch hitting catcher, steps in. And Carmona just blows it by him. A little bit outside, 1-1.
You know, we talked about Matt Wieters, switch hitting catcher, big guy, he's about 6'5", but he's standing more upright, you know, working with it because you felt his stance was getting too
spread out.
Yeah, too spread out in the batter's box. It still looks like he's feeling, you know, he doesn't look comfortable up there to me. We don't get an opportunity to watch these guys play a lot. As I said, we only play them once a year. I mean, we play the Cincinnati Reds as many times as we play the Baltimore Orioles, but this guy, I've seen him hit power the other way.
Yes,
he was strong, man, from both sides of the plate.
And you know what? Jim Presley, the hitting coach, saw that video and said, makes sense. You are having success doing it that way. Get back to it. You know, find out what you were doing when you were having success, and that's the plan you follow.
You know, it has to be tough when you're a new coach coming in, as a hitting coach or a pitching coach, and having to deal with people that you don't really know. You have to learn and you have to watch through video.
Swing and a miss, and Fausto Carmona has his third strikeout. 2 down here in the third. Check in once again with Katie Witham down on the field.
Hey, Matt, Rick, you know, we have the biggest music festival of the year happening right here at Progressive Field. It's Saturday, June 11th, the first ever Indians Music Festival. 10 different artists, including country superstar Brad Paisley, Blake Shelton, and Jared Neiman. Right now, if you don't have your tickets, you want to pick up today's Plain Dealer. They've got a special discounted ticket offer for you. It's the Indians Music Festival, Saturday, June 11th. Guys.
Thanks, Katie. Quick 1-2-3 third inning for Fausto Carmona and the Tribe. They lead it 1-0. Indians on top, bottom of the third here at Progressive Field. Bright sunshine day, but very windy. Jack Hanahan will lead off for the Tribe, then Grady Sizemore and Asdrubal Cabrera. Hanahan takes a strike, 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. Down low, 1-1.
Burgesson again. We talked about it the first day with the young left-hander that pitched for Baltimore, Zach Britton. Looked like a little short armor. You know how all of a sudden he comes in. This guy is too. I mean, if you look at his right hand, he sneaks that ball in. He only throws about 90 miles an hour. And more of a sinker baller, and they throw that change-ups away. But watch how he tries to get that ball into lefties. It's short, quick, and it's hides it well. You see what I mean? It gets on you probably a little quicker than you think.
As Torres throws out Hanahan one away. Have a look right now at our AT&T trivia question today. 3 center fielders in Indians history have hit 100 or more home runs. 3 center fielders with 100 or more home runs. I know who we can eliminate. That was a cheap shot.
No, it wasn't. It's the truth.
Grady Sizemore grounded to second in the first inning. I'm thinking Larry Doby off the top of my head for one of them. Tris Speaker. Outside, 2-0. Now the 2-0. Oh, there's a high drive. Deep right field. Markakis looking up, and it is gone. Grady Sizemore back with a vengeance.
Welcome back, Grady.
In his second at bat back, he hits his first home run, and it's a 2-0 Indians lead.
Look at his teammates. They're thrilled. He's thrilled. Very nice.
I'll tell you who else is thrilled. Manny Acta. He's been waiting for Grady Sizemore, even going back to last year. He knew that wasn't the Grady Sizemore that he was familiar with. And Sizemore battled that knee injury all through the first month of the season.
Yeah, it happened in the last game of spring training, didn't it? Out in L.A. Absolutely right. Look at that smile. Okay, he says, now I've got that over, I can get down to business.
As Asdrubal Cabrera grounded to second in his first at bat. He's got those alien-looking sunglasses on.
What are we, the mirrored ones? Yeah. Look at the prunk.
Santana and Sizemore both homering here today for the Indians, and they lead it 2-0. Well, that's been a long time coming, huh? Now the 2-2. They should have fired up the old Welcome Back Cotter theme song as Grady rounded the bases right there. You know?
Good. Yeah, welcome back.
Where do you suppose Horseshack and Washington would be today?
You better make a phone call in between innings and call the scoreboard room.
3-2 the count. On Asdrubal Cabrera. As you said, it's just big for a guy like Grady Sizemore to feel part of the team again. Out of play, because all during spring training, you know, he was rehabbing. He wasn't still wasn't in the action, wasn't part of the team.
He was basically on his own schedule. He had to go to the field by himself and do certain things. Now, anybody that's on the disabled list, I don't care who you are, you're not a part of the team when you can't go out there and participate in the game.
3-2 to Cabrera. Back over the screen. This is already the third Indian who's had a lengthy at bat of at least 8 pitches or more. Chu in the first inning. Who had the long one in the second?
Well, Santana hit a 3-2 pitch.
Ultimately, though, Cabrera is thrown out for out number 2. Grady Sizemore in his second at bat.
Oh, boy, that's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Grady Sizemore steps up, gets a fastball. It was middle of the plate, but he knew what to do with it. Deposits that into the right field bleachers. And, boy, that's been a while since you. Hey, your knee's going to feel good when you can run the bases like that.
Now Shin-Soo Choo grounded the ball to second base in his first at bat. One ball, one strike. Well, I think Burgesson has made 20 pitches in every inning now. 19 in the first inning? Okay. Missed it by that much. So Burgesson has been
Thanks, Tommy.
at least 20 in each of the last 2 innings now, and Chu strikes out, and the inning is over. But the Indians, with a couple of solo homers, have a 2-0 lead on the Orioles. Back here in the 4th inning. Indians with a 2-0 lead over the Orioles. Fausto Carmona has made 32 pitches through 3 innings. Brad Burgesson has made 62. Fausto has gone through the Orioles lineup 9 up, 9 down with 3 strikeouts. All the other outs, well, I shouldn't say all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ground ball outs, just 1 ball in the air, and that was off the bat of Derek Lee.
Well, 7 of his last 15 pitches were for swings and misses, so he's got some pretty good movement on his ball. Look at 11 of the 16 innings their starters have retired them in order. That's fun. When you're playing defense, 1, 2, 3, let's go in and let's hit.
One hop smash just past a diving Asdrubal Cabrera. And Brian Roberts has the first hit of the day for Baltimore.
Good approach there by Brian Roberts. Hit that ball sharply. And I mean right past Cabrera. Stayed on that good sinker, although it was a little bit upstairs and elevated. Anytime the pitch is up, I'd say mid-thigh or above, it makes it so much easier for that hitter to take it the opposite field, especially for a left-hander off the arm of Carmona.
Nick Markakis looks at a ball.
Now, Brian Roberts is the type of guy at first base, when he steals bases, he gets the walking lead. You have to make him stop at first. He tries to time you, and if you fall into a pattern, he'll step, 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 and he's gone. If you make him stop, you can keep him from running.
With Carmona on the hill, even in a situation where you're behind, you might see guys take off just to try to stay out of potential double play.
That's what I'm saying. He throws a lot of ground balls, and if you can get an opportunity to run, you will. But if you just pay attention to him once in a while, you give your catcher an opportunity. But especially for Roberts, because he's a walker. You got to make him stop.
Now the set on the 1-2. A little bit outside. Derek Lee waits on deck. Count goes full at 3-2. Part of Baltimore's problem during their losing streak has been their offense. They are averaging just 2.5 runs per game during their 6-game skid.
Well, I would think Roberts would be off and running here, no question.
He takes off, and the 3-2 is hit in the hole. That. And a perfectly placed base hit. Roberts can go to third.
Wrong guy was covering. Cabrera vacated. Asdrubal Cabrera vacated over at shortstop, and Markakis just, with the sinker baller, they felt he would roll over. Watch this. As he's off and running, he vacates, and where's the baseball hit? Pretty close to where he was started. So they will have a good start to this inning. First and third, nobody out.
And Derek Lee flied out to right his first time up. Missed inside for ball one. Now the Indians, in their 10 wins this year, they have not been behind once they've taken the first lead in a game. The 1-0 pitch. And a ground ball to short. Asdrubal to Orlando. On to first, a double play. The Orioles get a run. But what a terrific double play turn by Asdrubal and Orlando Cabrera.
Boy, you take that. That's a great play. Asdrubal made a nice backhanded stop, and watch how he turns and just makes sure he gives Orlando a good throw at second, and they turn it easily. There was a nice hop. You catch it, a good throw. They get the run, but you get the 2 outs. Nicely turned.
Now Vladimir Guerrero grounded to third base his first time up. And looks at a strike.
Carmona, no stranger to the ground ball double play. He's usually right up there in the top of the league when it comes to that. That's the 11th double play that the Indians' defense have turned this year. And boy, you can tell, and we've talked about it, not on air but off the air, where this defense has been so much better, or consistent, let's say, with the addition. Hanahan's played very good at third base. as Drupal is we knew he was a good shortstop, but Orlando at second has done a fine job, and Matt Laporte has been okay over there at first base.
Inside, it's tight 2-1. I mean, honestly, when you look at it, Matt Laporta has made all the plays you expect your first baseman to make.
He's made some nice picks over there.
Hanahan has been very steady at third.
You know, as Maniac will tell you as a manager, and what you want for a defense, just make the routine play day in and day out. That's all you have to do. Anything above and beyond that is gravy. If you make great plays, I mean, it happens. But just make every consistent play you can make, and everything will be fine.
Swing and a miss. Carmona strikes out Guerrero. His 4th K of the game. Orioles get a run, but Fausto minimizes the damage. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Progressive Field. It's a 2-1 Indians lead. Carlos Santana will lead it off. Picked up his 2nd homer of the year in his first at bat today, stopping an 0 for 23 slump.
Well, I like, since he's been back, he had the off day on Friday. Seems like he's not out there swinging at every first pitch. He's getting a feel for it, taking a look at it, being a little more patient.
Down low, this was what Santana did in the 2nd inning.
Coming off a 3-2 pitch.
Carlos bounces one towards second. Brian Roberts throws him out, 1 away. Let's pause for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, Katie Witham. Here today at Progressive Field, where the Indians have a 2-1 lead over the Baltimore Orioles. Tribe looking to sweep Baltimore, trying for their 11th win in their last 13 games, while Baltimore comes in with a 6-game losing streak. And the Indians right back out on the road after today's game. A 4-game series starts tomorrow night in Kansas City. And the Royals have won 4 straight heading into play today, tied with the Indians atop the AL Central standings. Chicago is in 2nd place at 7-7. Swing and a miss. Hafner strikes out, 2 down. Once again, let's check in with Katie Witham.
Hey, Matt, I'm hanging out with a couple baseball players. We've got Austin, Brian, and Mitchell, and we want to make sure you guys know Kids Fun Days start April 30th. Every Saturday and Sunday, we've got pregame activities going on out on the plaza. Sundays, you can stay to move it around the bases, sponsored by the Cleveland Clinic. I know these baseball players, you guys love running around the bases. What's the best part about being out there?
Just being on the field.
Being on the field, absolutely, guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. Sure, they'll have a ball after this one's over. And as Rick said, they'll probably try to get as dirty as they can.
Why not?
That's the whole point of being a kid, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Go in there head first.
Unless your name's Josh Hamilton, then don't go
Well,
don't go head first.
Yeah, little difference.
The 1-2, a little bit high. Anyway, looking at the Central Division standings, I mentioned before, Indians, Royals tied, then Chicago 7-7. Detroit's next at 7-8. Minnesota has lost 4 straight. They're 4-10 to start the year.
Well, they've already taken Joe Nathan out of the closer's role.
Bare hand grab at third, and Reynolds throws up the line, and that's going to allow Cabrera to turn and burn, and he'll go easily into second base.
I'm sure it's going to be a base hit and an error. Reynolds made a nice play to the barehanded side, but then you rush the throw and you try to get too much on it, and he threw it wild. I mean, it was a great play, and that's the only chance I think he would have had. Watch how he rushes the throw. Great barehanded catch. But then, didn't have a good grip. And you can see he throws it wildly at first base, and Cabrera picks it up and easily gets the second. So base hit and an error.
So 2 down, a runner in scoring position for Travis Buck. Well, I got home in time to see the end of that Twins-Rays game yesterday. As Buck lines it into right field, a base hit. Coming around third, Orlando Cabrera to the plate. Markakis' throw is cut off. Lee throws to second, and the inning is over. But the run scores, and the Indians now lead it 3-1, thanks to an RBI by Travis Buck. United, proud to fly the Cleveland Indians. And by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. It's time to join the movement. 3-1 Indians as we go to the 5th inning here at Progressive Field. And ball 1 down low to Luke Scott, who struck out his first time up.
We talked about it yesterday with the Indians' response runs, how they're able to answer that inning. Baltimore comes back. They get one on the board in the top of the 4th, and back come the Indians, again with 2 outs and helped by the error, to put another run on the board and answer that 1-run top half of the 4th.
just missed outside with it. 2-1. And a swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fausto Carmona has given up just the 1 run. On 2 hits, he has struck out 4. And once again, for the most part, he has been a ground ball machine here today. The 2-2. Able to lay off. Sometimes it's hard to tell from the, looking at the hitter, what enables them to not swing at that pitch, and whereas sometimes they just flail away at it. That one's a little closer in the strike zone, but he pops it up. Cabrera, the shortstop, fighting the sun, has it 1 away. Travis Buck getting the Indians their 3rd run with the RBI single into right field. He slides in safely well before they tag out Buck at second base. So Orlando Cabrera getting the Tribe their 3rd run.
The one reason why you just continue to go, you want them to cut the ball. And, when they cut it, the run's going to score. And you make sure it scores before they tag you out. But it's also the runner's job to get to home plate. Don't give up and just expect you're going to make it.
Don't just jog in there.
Right. You hustle all the way, touch home plate, and then look.
Now the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count evens at a 1-1. We talked earlier about the fact that with Grady Sizemore coming off the DL today, Mitch Talbot went on, but the Indians will need to make room for the new starter
Gomez
on Tuesday.
Right.
So right now Travis Buck is doing everything in his power to say,
that's beautiful.
Keep me.
Well, every time we talk about it all the time, the players always make the decision for you.
In comes Buck from left field, but Cabrera says, I've got it, and he does. 2 away. Hey, don't miss the Cleveland Browns draft party coming up next Thursday at Browns Stadium. Party begins at 5, includes complete first-round draft coverage, live music, and appearances by Browns alumni. And you can choose your season tickets from the best available inventory. For more information, call 877-6-BROWNS. Felix P.A. checks on a ball down low. Well, offensively today, as Drupal Cabrera is 0 for 2, but defensively he has been in the mix quite a bit. 2 putouts, 4 assists, so he is you play in the middle of the diamond. A lot of times you are in the middle of the action. Rip foul. Oh, Wayne Kirby with some fancy footwork down there.
Fancy footwork, but he's back in the big leagues. He's getting that big league meal money, you can tell.
Wayne, that was Rick Manning, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Well, Curbs, he never stopped talking. He was here, for goodness sake. I got to give him a shot.
He and Alvaro Espinoza were 2 of the most high-energy bench guys you could ever imagine. Huh?
That's when the fun was around, because they would go hoot on the guys that played every day. And you remember when the bubbles came on top of the helmets and all the
pranks.
The pranks came. I'll tell you that those guys were 2 of the.
But they both could also deliver when called upon. I mean, they weren't just having fun and not paying attention to what was happening on the field either.
That was all part of it. When you're an extra man, you do your work. You work very hard. When called upon, you go out and you do your job. But it was rare. But they were often. It was always fun.
Now, Mike Hargrove used to say, everyday players are everyday players for a reason. They play every day. That's why those guys were in the lineup every day, like Albert Bell and Kenny Lofton. And so it was not easy for Wayne Kirby to find time to play, or for Alvaro Espinoza with that infield. I mean, you couldn't get Omar Vizquel out of the lineup.
Who's going to break into an outfield with Bell, Lofton, and Ramirez? Exactly. I mean, seriously, you don't break in there. You go and polish their shoes, and if they ever want a day off, and get their car, whatever you want.
3-2 in the air to left. Back goes Buck. And now comes in to make the catch. And the Birds go 1, 2, 3. So 4 out of 5 innings today. Carmona has retired the side in order. Indians with a 3-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Progressive Field. It will be Matt Laporta, Jack Hanahan, and Grady Sizemore. Laporta struck out in his only at bat today. Brad Burgess makes it 0-2. The problem for Burgess is that the Indians have really made him work. And, you know, the crazy thing is he hasn't faced more than 4 batters in any inning. Well, I'm sorry. He did face 5 batters in the second. But, I mean, that's been it. But they've made him work deep in counts. And so he's already up to almost 80 pitches. This is 79 on the day. Punch to center. In comes PA. 1 away. Let's check out our minor league report. Jason Kipnis last night at Toledo. 3 for 4 with a double score to pair. Clippers won it big, and he's on a pretty good run offensively right now.
I was going to say, that it seems like he gets 3 hits a night.
Jack Hanahan takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. But, you know, Rick, usually if you look at a guy and think, well, he's only faced 3, 5, 4, 4.
Right.
You wouldn't think he'd be at 80 pitches already. But
no, but, I mean, that's a good thing. You know, they fouled off some pitches. You're going deep in the count. At one time, we had 4 or 5 straight hitters with 6 or more pitches.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a guy. He's not overpowering. He should be a guy to pitch to contact. He hasn't walked anybody on his defense.
Right.
I mean, he has 3 strikeouts. But, you know, that's what you want to see right there. Early contact. Get him to hit the ball on the ground for you.
2 down. As we take a look at our AT&T trivia question answer right now. Okay, I was thinking Tris Speaker, Larry Doby, I don't know, maybe Earl Averill? Did he play enough center field? He did. He's the all-time leader. Grady Sizemore. I didn't realize Grady had that many home runs already.
Oh, yeah. He's been here for a while.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the guys that are right under your nose you forget about when those trivia
now,
questions.
You know what? You always think back in the old days.
Yeah.
You never think current.
Grady drives one deep to right field. That's going to drop into the corner. And Grady on his way into second base with a 2-out double. He is 2 for 3 with a homer and a double in his return to the lineup here today.
God, I missed watching that guy make left turns. I mean, this ball looked like it got in on him a little bit, but he was still able to keep it fair, didn't hook it down the line, and plops it right down into the corner, cruises into second base. Well, that is hit number 6 for the Indians, hit number 2 for Grady, and both extra base hits, the double and a homer.
As Dribble Cabrera 0 for 2, twice he's grounded to second. Up and in and hit him.
Looked like a slider.
Dribble will take his base with 2 down.
Well, now you're just bringing up Chu, and this is where the Indians have been good in the series with 2 outs. They've been able to continue it. That's a breaking ball. Hits him right on the hip. And, you know, when you're a pitcher out there and guys are starting to get to you, you've got to make sure if you miss with that breaking ball, you got to miss in off the plate, and he ended up hitting him. Not intentional. But Mark Connor's going to come out and have a talk with his young starter.
Well, this is a big opportunity right here for the Indians to open it up. Even though there are 2 outs, you got Shin-Soo Choo at the plate.
But in the series, they've scored 7 2-out runs. So, I mean, those are backbreakers a lot of times to a ball club. When you come in there, you think you're out of the inning, and the next thing you know, boom. Just like last inning, there was 2 outs. You had a single, but an error let them go to second base, and then they follow it up with a base hit, and it scores.
Jeremy Accardo warming in the bullpen. Brad Burgesson, 85 pitches deep into the ball game, facing Shin-Soo Choo, who has grounded out, and he has struck out. Sizemore at second, Cabrera at first. And it's out of play, 0-2. Two-strike pitch. Chew in the air, center field. Straight back is P8. Running out of real estate, makes the catch up against the wall in straightaway center field to end the inning. Boy, Chu gave it a ride, but PA able to save the day for Baltimore. 3-1 Indians. Restaurant to pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupon for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians Fun Money, and you'll get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. Fausto Carmona will go to work here in inning number 6 against Matt Wieters, Cesar Izturis, and Brian Roberts. Wieters struck out his first time up, 0 for 4 in the series. And over the outside part of the plate. 1-1 to count. Up the middle it goes. Diving backhanded stop by Cabrera from his knees. Can't get him.
Boy, what a nice try. What a nice try. I mean, he was extended to the max. And if he could have came up and fielded that ball cleanly, he would have got him the first time. I think he had to reach for it one more time. Let's take a look at it. I thought this ball was by him. I didn't think he had a chance to smother it. You see it rolls away, and then the umpire gets in our way. But I'll tell you, it was a very nice play. Hits his elbow, gets the glove. Boy, oh boy, it can't be done much better than that.
Izturis had shortened the bunt. Hanahan was already charging at third. With the pitch missing for ball 1. That'll even the count at 1-1. Swinging away, and he comes up empty. A ball and 2 strikes. Now Hanahan will back up at third as Izturis is down on the count 1-2.
Boy, when Fausto can throw his changeup for strikes like he did on that last one, you could see hitters get geared up for that hard sinker. And when you just take something off of it and you're looking at about 8 miles an hour, boy, it is something else.
Well, that last pitch, 82 miles an hour, so Carmona able to really change speeds effectively in this at bat to Izturis. After going soft a couple of times, see if he goes back to the hard sinker.
Well, that's where you're going to get your ground ball. Went slider.
Locked him up with the slide piece. His 5th strikeout of the day, 1 down.
You know, a little change up, then comes back, slider. You know, you're expecting that ball to go away, and it's right there about the same speed. But this ball's breaking the other way. Didn't pull the trigger, and he gets called out. First called strikeout for Carmona, and the 5th on the afternoon.
Brian Roberts has scored the only run for Baltimore. That came in the 4th inning, and he lets that one sink off the plate for ball 1. Two balls and no strikes.
It's the first 2-0 count by Fausto this afternoon, and that's something that the Indians pitching has been so good with, the 2-0 counts. They have stayed away from them.
Roberts takes a strike, and the count is 2-1. With that base hit in the 4th inning, Brian Roberts is now hit in 5 straight.
Talking about that, in Justin Masterson's 7 innings, he had 1 2-0 count. Tomlin had 1 2-0 count in 6 innings. Carmona's in the 6th, and this is his first one. Very good.
Fausto with a long look in. Nick Markakis on deck with 1-on-1 out here in the 6th. Tribe leading at 3-1. And the count He's now full at 3-2. Well, Wieters doesn't exactly have great speed at first base, but would you put him in motion here on a 3-2?
No. 1 out. I don't think so. Although they may, just if they feel Roberts going to put in play, but I wouldn't.
He holds, but Roberts still finds the hole on the right side. Wieters stops at second. And 2 base hits here in the 6th inning for Baltimore, and they're threatening with 1 out, and Nick Markakis coming to the plate.
Well, Fausto always 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. And, you know, this is one where if he would have started him, he would have held the guy, and this time he pulls a ball. Went to the shortstop side the last time. He's able to pull that ball to the right side this time. So 2 hits in the inning.
Santana has a chat with Carmona. Nick Markakis 1 for 2. He singled, you recall, in the last inning, or in his last at bat, with a runner going from first to second base. He singled through the vacated spot on the left side of the infield.
Yeah, that was a full count. And that was leading off the inning after Roberts was on, so that was a different situation.
Down low, ball 1. Two on, 1 out. And he smashed to first. Laporta goes to second. They get 1 as dribbles return. Throw to Carmona. And inning-ending double play.
Nicely turned.
What a job by Matt Laporta with a perfect throw to Cabrera, who returned it to Fausto to end the inning.
Huh?
Three-1 Indians on top. Bottom of the 6th inning. Terrific defensive play by everyone involved.
Well, I'll tell you what, I like Carmona getting all the way to first base. All you have to do, make a good throw. Laporta did. But in turn, to get to first base, that's a tough throw for a shortstop. He had to get out of the way of a sliding Roberts to get the throw. Great hustle by the big man Carmona to get over there. It's not an easy throw for the shortstop with a moving target. That's nicely turned. Second double play of the afternoon by the Tribe.
Well, if the Indians are indeed to pull off this sweep, they're going to need perhaps a little more insurance. 3-1 is the Indians' lead. Jeremy Accardo coming on now for Baltimore. Brad Burgesson, his day over after just 5 innings of work. But he was able to minimize the damage, allowing the 3 runs to earn on 6 hits. And as you pointed out, he didn't walk a batter. Struck out 3, hit 1. Gave up 2 solo home runs. One of those solo home runs was to Carlos Santana back in the second inning. Fouled right back. One pitch outside. Accardo worked in the first game of this series, 2/3 of an inning. Came in the offseason after spending last year with Toronto. Inside out swing cut off by the third baseman Reynolds. Spins and throws. And Santana out, number 1. It's our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Carlos Santana snapping an 0-for-23 slump with that home run gave the Indians the early lead. Then Grady Sizemore in just his second at bat off the DL homers to right field to make it 2-0. Orioles got a run back, and then Travis Buck with a 2-out RBI single in the 4th inning made it 3-1 Cleveland. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Travis Hafner a single and a strikeout today. One and one to count. Some birthday wishes today. One going out to John Whaler of Broadview Heights, celebrating his birthday here at the ballpark today. He and his friends are doing it up in grand style with a suite here at the ballpark.
Beautiful, nicely. Way to go.
Hafner digs it out deep to right field. Markakis looking up, and it's gone. Hafner with a home run, his 4th of the year. 3rd solo shot of the day for the Tribe, and they now lead it 4-1.
Tell you what, Bronk, he dropped the head on that one, and he didn't want to be left out. He saw a couple of left-handers cut into that wind, and he says, I want to join that party. And he does. He hits the 3rd home run of the afternoon. Look at that, down. Holy smokes, he got down there in a hurry. Looked like a little cutter or breaking ball. But out into the seats. Makes it a 4-1 ball game. We saw him laughing with Grady in that dugout after Grady went deep. We'll see if those two are going to follow it up.
Redbird just let me know Hafner didn't hit his 4th home run last year until May 22nd.
He's swinging the bat. He's a different man. I'm telling you, he's been
Completely
swinging on
different.
that ball on the inside. It's not even close. I mean, even when he swings and misses now, Matt, he's got some intensity in that swing.
Orlando went too far chasing after it, and there are 2 down here in the 6th inning. While we have a moment, let's go back to the studios for this in-game update with Dave Chudowski.
Matt, thanks a lot. Toronto at Boston, the 3-10 Red Sox, but this should help out. 1-1 in the second inning. Jacoby Ellsbury just inside the foul pole. A 3-run homer, his 3rd of the season. 4-1 in the 3rd. Boston, back to you.
All right, thanks, Chud. 2 down, bases empty. Tribe leading at 4-1. Travis Buck had an RBI single in his last at bat. And looks at the ball outside. Buck with a liner to short, caught by Isturez, and the inning is over. But the Indians on the Travis Hafner homer now lead it 4-1. checking out the headgear, making sure the ears are all tucked away, keeping them nice and toasty.
Don't want to get them sick. Cover up the ears, no doubt. I bet it is a little cool sitting out in the stands today with the wind whipping.
Well, that's the thing. It's that wind is. There's no what do you call it? There's no way to escape it.
Well,
it's
we're doing a pretty good job, but not out in the stands. We're tucked away up here in a little booth.
Shh, don't tell anybody. Derek Lee, 0 for 2, steps in to lead off the 7th inning for the Orioles. Way outside. 1-1 to count. The White Sox at home against the Angels today. Angels have the early lead 1-0. They're in the 2nd inning at U.S. Cellular. 1-1 pitch. Down low. You know, I started to tell you earlier, we went to a break, got home and caught the end of the Minnesota-Tampa Bay game on TV, and Joe Nathan suffered a second blown save in that series and got the loss as well.
Right.
Tapped foul by Derek Lee.
Well, you think about it, he missed all last year, had the Tommy John surgery, and you just don't come back to the point where, you know, I guess the last thing to come is locating, you know, the baseball after you come back from surgery, or you lose that little extra flip on that fastball or the last foot of movement. Takes a while to get it back.
We saw last year with Jake Westbrook. I mean, he was back, he was healthy, but he wasn't all the way back as far as a complete package. Fouled right off the mask of Santana, so he's taking a foul ball off his shoulder and one right off the face mask.
Yeah, he has taken 2 shots. This one, man, he's going to take a little walk around. Going to let the stars get out of his eyes. Direct hit, and that was low, and it just took
right
the
on
mask.
the jaw.
Yeah,
right? Probably pushes the jaw back.
Yeah,
like somebody punched him in the face. And you can hear the home plate umpire Ed Hickok saying, "They get you in the jaw." Yeah.
Well, the umpires know what it's like too, so they're protecting these guys. Let me know when you're ready. Get back behind the plate.
The 2-2. Just catch the ball in the middle. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the payoff pitch. That's low, ball 4. And that is the first walk issued by Fausto Carmona here today. Well, let's take a look at our Miller Taste Greatness moment. We talked about Wayne Kirby, the Orioles' first base coach. How about this? Opening day, 1994. First game at the ballpark. And it's Wayne Kirby with a game winner. Down the left field line scoring Eddie Murray as the Indians beat the Mariners in the inaugural game.
Boy, there started some great things to happen in this ballpark when you talk about home field advantage, but that was game number 1. Extra innings, that's the game that started by Randy Johnson. Had a no-hitter for over 7 innings going into the 8th inning. I think Sandy Alomar got the first hit. Bob Feller was up in the press box watching because he was the only guy to ever throw, and still is, an opening day no-hitter. I bet he had a few jitters that day. The Indians break up the no-hitter in the 8th. They win it in the 12th, I believe it was, and a lot of good things happen from that point on.
Swinging from his heels, Vladimir Guerrero comes up empty. It's 0-2. Getting activity now in the Indians' bullpen as left-hander Rafael Perez starts to get hot. This will be pitch number 90 for Carmona. Bounced it in front of the plate. You know, the problem with Vladimir Guerrero for a lot of pitchers, you get ahead of him 0-2, you can't make it a close pitch. You have to make it a pitch so bad that he can't get it at all, because he'll swing at anything sometimes and put it in play.
But it's not in your mentality as a pitcher to do that.
He digs that one out and just foul. Holy mackerel, that was close to being trouble.
This guy has the best hands of any hitter I've ever seen. I mean, That ball he hit right there and almost kept it fair. Watch, it's down and in. And as wild as he can swing, you can make him look so bad on one swing, and he'll come back and tattoo one. Look at down and in. Look at that. See how his hands just come down and flips it out of there? That's not easy to do, man. That's just the strength from the forearms down and strong hands.
And how about the hand-eye coordination he has? The 1-2. Checked in. That was close to being a strike 3 call. Whoa, that was a pretty good-looking pitch.
Yeah, it was. It was a good pitch. See, Santana's sitting away. That ball comes in. That's a strike, but not called.
I think the ball moved, and it fooled Santana and the home plate umpire, maybe. Blooped over the head of Cabrera and in for a hit.
Give a guy 4 strikes, and good hitters are going to get hits. Uh-oh, he's got him.
Chu bobbles it, and now the throw cut off, tried to be cut off, and Orlando couldn't come up, or Asdrubal couldn't come up with it, and now we've got runners everywhere.
There was 2 mistakes there. Another error. You give it to Chu, and a bad error at that. And then Cabrera tried to cut it to get the other guy. There was 2 bad plays on this. He gets the base hit. You've got a 3-run lead. You just do everything right, get the ball, get it in. Chu peeks like he wanted to go to third base. He wasn't going. You got to know who's running. It was a veteran. So he gives Cabrera a bad hop. Cabrera was going to cut it and go to second base to get the runner. It was all the way around. Not a good play by Shin-Soo Choo there.
Now, tying run comes to the plate, and dangerous Luke Scott 0 for 2 on the day. Nobody out. Yeah, that's about a little bit outside for ball 1. Carmona's 95th pitch of the day shaves the outside edge for a strike to even the count. Really, Rick, it's the first time Carmona's been in trouble all day.
Well, shouldn't be in trouble. I mean, a leadoff walk. You know, that's the first walk of the afternoon. He had Guerrero struck out, didn't get the call, then a base hit, and then a bad defensive play, and they take the double play out of order. So they've
line to left field coming on. Travis Buck makes the catch. Tagging a third and coming home to score is Derek Lee.
Just hold on to it.
And it's a 4-2 ball game, 1 away.
Yeah, all right, they get the out. Ball was hit right on the nose. When you see Travis Buck out there, you know, initially as an outfielder, you want to try and make a throw home like you're going to get him, but he's on the run. Just take your out, and he realized, I'm not going to throw it. Keep the guy at second base. He couldn't get it out of his glove. He's on the run. Wouldn't have had much to get on the throw anyway, so just take the out. It's a 4-2 ball game, though. They score that leadoff walk. The only one of the day comes around to get Carmona.
Now Mark Reynolds 0 for 2. He has grounded to short, and he has popped up on the infield. And it's a low ball 1 as Carmona closes in on the 100 pitch mark today. Swing and a miss. And the count is 1-1. One pitch. And now Carmona behind Mark Reynolds. Be curious to see when we see them again in July if Reynolds is keeping the strikeout number down. I mean, this guy has been a consistent year in, year out strikeout guy, but he's doing a nice job so far this year.
211.
Ground ball routine to short as Asdrubal Cabrera throws him out. 2 away, Vladimir Guerrero to third base. Tonight at 9 on STO, after all bets are off with Bruce Drennan. Stay tuned for the Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon. He'll get you up to date on the PGA. Take your calls and emails about your golf game. It's the Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon tonight at 9 after all bets are off only on STO. Tim Belcher out to the mound to talk with Carmona. I asked Jimmy if he was going to talk tonight on his show about the 16 that Kevin Na posted in Texas. As I told him, I said, isn't there a rule where you pick up and you mark down an 8 and you go to the next hole? And he said, no, that's the Mike Cairns rule, which that's not part of the PGA Tour.
Okay.
So the gloves are off.
He clarified that then, huh?
He already did.
Well, that wouldn't have been the case, because if it was Mike Cairns, he would have been teeing up a little farther and he wouldn't have been in the woods right there.
There you
would
go.
have been past the woods.
So Belcher has a chat with Carmona. 2 down, runner at third. Felix P.A., left-handed hitter. And back-to-back switch hitters for Baltimore with left-hander Rafael Perez ready in the bullpen. P.A. squibber towards short. Cabrera hustling, throwing on the run. Backhanded by Laporta. He digs it out. A tremendous defensive play to end the inning. If Laporta doesn't come up with that, the Orioles are another run closer, and it's a 1-run game. Two, Tribe on
There's
top,
our
bottom
buddy.
of the 7th inning, and Lenny Barker checking out the action today.
Yes, indeed. He's got to be
Boys
sitting with the
him.
boys.
Yeah.
He's got the big old heavy jacket. Look at it. It's messing up his dew. Yes,
The
it
wind
is.
is
He's
playing
messing
havoc
up his dew.
with his hair, huh?
Yes, it is. I'm going to have to talk to him. I got to get him some mousse for that. I got to get some mousse for that mousse.
The
All
extra,
right.
the extra string, extra hold.
That's right. All right. You can sit the newest hot spot out at Progressive Field this season. It's the Time Warner cable bleachers. All tickets are just $10. So visit Indians.com and buy your bleacher seats today. Big man's in the club seats. He's not in the bleachers.
He's living large because he's large Lenny.
Large Lenny. That's right. taking in a ball game, and he's got to like what he sees. That was a nice play to end that inning.
Boy, sure was.
I mean, Laporta did a nice job of picking that ball on the backhanded side. PA ran it down.
And trying to keep his toe on the bag at the same time.
Yeah, nicely done.
Well, Fausto Carmona, just over 100 pitches for the day. And Matt Laporta leading off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Checks on a ball outside. Laporta cuts and misses. And the count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jeremy Accardo. And Laporta sends this one over into the club seats. Tony Sipp up in the Indians bullpen. And you see Jack Hanahan in the on-deck circle. Two balls and 2 strikes. And Laporta 0 for 2 today, but he's had a good series as you see the left-hander getting loose in the Tribe pen.
You know, for whatever reason, Matt, it seems like anytime we went to Baltimore when he first got called up, had a terrific series.
Well, I mean, you probably had teams that for whatever reason you just love to hit against them.
For whatever reason, you just go out there and you just seem to play well, and it's hard to explain.
Don't question it, right?
Right,
you just
go with the flow, baby.
And a 3-2 to Laporta. Popped him up and out of play. Indians hit the road after this game. Tribe will go to Kansas City.
Kansas City, here I come.
And then Minnesota. And then they'll return home to open a homestand in the last week of April. And the payoff pitch to Laporta. Popped almost the same spot, out of play again. That one made it to the upper deck. And the 3-2 is fouled over the top of the dugout. Look out, that was a screamer. I saw one guy literally get out of his seat and go to
the ground.
We went right to the ground.
Yes.
And the guy behind him made the catch.
Heard the emergency call. He fell to the ground and rolled under your seats. When incoming, hit the ground.
Stop, drop, and roll. Again, the 3-2. Ball 4. Well, Matt Laporta with a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 7th, and we'll see if that leads to a run for the Indians the way it did for Baltimore. Hey, once again, let's check in with Katie Witham. She's hanging down in the fan cave now.
Hey guys, I'm hanging out over here in the newly remodeled fan cave. Honestly, the most comfortable way you can watch an Indians game here at the park, but also the most unique suite here at Progressive Field. We've got everything. 4 big screen TVs if you don't want to watch the game outside. We've got a pool table, bar, video games. 20 people can fit in here of your closest friends, but limited availability. So you want to call 216-420-HITS to reserve the fan cave today. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Katie.
I'd be afraid you get in there, you'd be playing pool, you wouldn't do everything but watch baseball. You know, you're coming out to the game.
Rick, in this day and age, young people are able to multitask.
Oh, is that what you call
That's
it?
Right. That's
okay. You call it whatever you will. But if it's a little windy and you have an adult beverage and you're sitting in there and you can play a little pool, although you can
call
watch
that being
it
smart.
on TV. Yeah.
Well, you know, the old fan cave is now the suite that Mike Hargrove occupies during a lot of the home games here at Progressive Field.
Right.
And
that used to be, yeah.
He and his wife Sharon donated a lot of their own personal memorabilia to decorate the suite, and it's pretty cool. I was in there today checking it out. Hanahan lost the bat, and the ball went back out of play. But he's got photos of the old 10-cent beer night at Cleveland Stadium when he was with the Rangers.
With the Rangers, right?
And a big picture of that melee, and he's got a whole collage of pictures when he was in the batter's box, all the different variations that he would go through, stepping out, adjusting the gloves, the helmet.
I saw it. I was there. Matter of fact, isn't it next homestand when we get back? He's going to join us for a telecast.
I think it's in May. Hanahan bounces one. April, what's that, Murph?
29th and 30th.
April 29th and 30th against
Detroit.
the Tigers.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
29th and 30th. So he will be joining us on our next homestand.
It'll be
Good.
the Friday-Saturday game against the Tigers.
He's going to be worn out after the first game. We got to make sure he can make it for the second. I'm surprised we give him back-to-backs early. Mike, get on the media. Get the media guides out. Start prepping.
Another throw to first. Laporta back to the bag.
Yeah, we had him. He was on and did a few games with us in spring training, and we had a lot of good time. And he'll bring a lot to the table.
Now the 0-2 to Hanahan. Off the plate. Now this is a part of the game that I'm sure Mike Hargrove loved when he was in the dugout. You know, you've got the tight game. It's late. You want to add to your lead. You got that runner at first base. You're trying like heck to get him over into scoring position.
You're thinking about your bullpen, setting it up and going, closing out the last 6 out of the outs of the game.
And you've got Hanahan at the plate and Grady Sizemore on deck. And what a story that's been so far today. Sizemore in his first game back, activated from the DL before the ball game, and in his second at bat he hit a home run. And then in his next at bat, he doubled into the right field corner. So much for being rusty. The 1-2. Bounces it to first. Derek Lee comes off the bag. They get the force, and the return throw is in time.
Another 3-6-3 double play. Or 3-6-1.
Yeah. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you here today at Progressive Field, where the Indians hold a 4-2 lead. In the bottom of the 7th, Grady Sizemore batting. Now 2 down and the base is empty.
I was curious. I was just thinking about when was the last time that Grady and Pronk, Travis Hafner, homered in the same game. And Redbird, you ask a question around here and you get it answered. It was July 26th of 2009 against Seattle.
Well, it's.
But I mean, it's just fun to see both those guys in the lineup, both of them hitting a home run,
having a direct impact in the game.
That's exactly right.
Out of play for Sizemore down the left side, and it's 2-1. Well, if this one game means anything, Rick, Grady didn't need a ton of games to get his timing back, or at least to feel like he was ready to get back into big league action. Checked his swing. Almost picked off the ball boy.
He was pretty quick over there. Got out of the way.
Two and two the count. And rifled down the left field line. Just foul. Grady bolted down the line. He thought it might stay fair, but a twisted foul at the last moment.
You go with a little. He tried to go with a backdoor breaking ball, wrapping it around the outside part of the plate. Grady stayed on it nicely, but you can see just slices foul.
struck him out to end the inning. We go to the 8th here in Cleveland. 4-2, Tribe on top.
The authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retranslated in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Tribe leads it. Fausto Carmona's day over after 7 innings of work. Indians will go to left-hander Tony Sipp as the Indians try to finish off a 3-game sweep of the Orioles. But they need 6 more outs before that's complete. And Tony Sipp will face Matt Wieters, Cesar Izturis, and Brian Roberts.
Well, Sipp came into the ball game yesterday, pitched an inning, he gave up a hit. He did give up a walk, but was upstairs. Didn't look like he had good feel for his changeup. Gave up a couple of deep fly balls.
In for a strike. Now, Fausto Carmona today, 101 pitches, 61 of those were strikes. And of the 2 runs, only 1 earned run for Fausto. So another great start for the Indians ace. 2-1 pitch.
It's almost like they're playing a game of follow the leader.
It's a long season. We all know that. And Fausto Carmona, you knock on wood, he stays healthy. He's going to make 30, 32.
33 starts.
But he's pitched like an ace. And there are a lot of people who said, well, he's not an ace. Well, so far he's pitched like one. There's a high drive, right field. Chu looking up into that sun, having trouble with the wind, makes the catch and hangs on for out number 1. That was not routine.
Well, that's why I said keep your feet moving. I mean, now it makes it doubly tough because you're not only battling the sun when you look up there, you're also battling the wind. And you watch, he puts his glove back up to block the ball. It's in the sun. It now comes out, and then the ball keeps continuing to blow. And sometimes you say you don't know where it's carrying. Look at him. Well, you just keep adjusting your feet.
Cesar Izturis.
And now that I look up there, there's not a cloud in the sky in the sun. And
the wind blew the clouds away.
They didn't stand a chance.
They're in Ashtabula now. On their way to Buffalo.
Yeah, they're heading back to Buffalo is right, down 90.
Izturis looks at a strike. He's 0 for 2 today, 1 for 6 in the series. The 1-1 pitch. A little bit low. Tony Sipp facing Cesar Izturis with Brian Roberts to follow here in the 8th inning. Popped him up and out of play. Well, this Indians bullpen has done a tremendous job here at the early part of the season, 14 games in, and the opposition has just a .203 batting average against the Indians bullpen. There's a charge to right field, but Chu is right there to grab it. 2 down. Once again, let's head out to Katie Witham, who's in Heritage Park.
Hey guys, I'm over here hanging out in Heritage Park, a must-see next time you're here in the ballpark. You know, we've got who's who of Indians baseball. You can get to know your tribe, take a walk through history. And you know, yesterday in Cooperstown at the Hall of Fame Classic, they announced that this year's Player of the Game award is now going to be named after our legendary pitcher, Bob Feller. What an honor that is, guys.
Thanks, Katie. They've got that awesome mural out there in Heritage Park, too, depicting Bob Feller's career. That's something that fans will want to stop by and check out next time you're here at the ballpark.
I remember when they were just starting to make Heritage Park out there and develop it. Bob Feller was on the tractor with a helmet, getting ready to knock down some walls.
He did. In fact, those of us who were there watching that were a little frightened that, you know, he might kick that tractor into gear.
No, he knew what he was doing. I mean,
not,
if anybody knows,
yeah,
he does. But I remember he was sitting on the tractor with a hard hat on.
The 1-1 pitch, yanked on the left field line, fair ball into the corner. Travis Buck will dig it out, but Brian Roberts has his 3rd straight hit today, and it's a double with 2 out here in the 8th inning.
That's the only the 6th hit, first extra base hit. Tony left that one up middle of the plate, and Roberts really turns on it.
He has half their hits.
Well, the one good thing, it comes with 2 outs.
And you've got the lefty-lefty matchup here with Nick Markakis at the plate, who is 1 for 3 today. And that makes him 1 for 12 in the series.
Yeah, but this guy, don't worry, you got to be careful. He hit .361 against left-handed pitching last year, which was the highest average in all of Major League Baseball against left-handers. So just because it's a lefty-lefty matchup, it doesn't matter here.
Swing and a miss. Joe Smith is up in the bullpen because 2 right-handed hitters follow Markakis. But you have to hope that Sipp can take care of Markakis and get out of the inning.
They've been able to control him so far in the series, over 3 with runners in scoring position.
Bounce to first. Matt Laporta goes himself, and the inning is over. Tony Sipp does it again, and it remains 4-2 Tribe, middle of the 8th. 4-2, Indians lead it. Bottom of the 8th inning here at Progressive Field. A sun-splashed afternoon, but a little cool with that breeze. Been consistent all day long. Koji Uhara coming on now for Baltimore to work here in the bottom of the 8th inning after Jeremy Accardo went 2 innings, allowing 1 run on 1 hit.
Second time Uhara has pitched in the series.
He'll be facing Asdrubal Cabrera, Shin-Soo Choo, and Carlos Santana. Asdrubal today 0 for 2 was hit by a pitch, but defensively, he has been a big part of this game today for the Tribe as he fouls that down the left side. A little bit high by my count, Rick. Asdrubal today defensively 7 assists, 2 putouts, and he was part of 2 double plays and a huge inning-ending assist in that 7th inning.
Well, you love to, yeah, you're in the middle of the field, defense like that. You want to do that. I mean, you're playing, you got your ace on the mound, or a ground ball pitcher.
Little number out toward the mound. Uhara throws out Cabrera, 1 away. Check out our in-game box score brought to you by Hyundai. Join the movement. Yeah, Grady Sizemore, what a return to the lineup. 2 for 4 with a home run. Carlos Santana, Travis Afner also going solo dingers.
No, it's all about the solo home runs today. That's been the difference in the game.
Travis Buck had that 2-out RBI hit back in the 4th. That drove home Orlando Cabrera with the only other run. Shin-Soo Choo 0 for 3, and maybe on any other day would have had a home run himself. A 3-run shot back in that 5th inning.
He would have, because he was upset. I think when he got to first base, he thought he got enough of that ball. Now, the wind obviously had to have something to do with it, because he's been in this park long enough to know when you hit one, and he hit a bomb to center field that just never got out of here.
Yeah, he hit it to deep center where it's 400 feet straight away, and that's where PA caught it, leaping up at the fence. But it was one of those balls that was hit so hard that PA initially, he just turned his back to home plate and started to sprint. And the wind may have knocked it down and kept it in the yard. He made a terrific play regardless, but I think on most days that one's out of here with ease. 3 balls and 2 strikes for Shin-Soo Choo.
That is his first walk. He has struck out 46 batters since his last walk allowed. And that's the longest streak between walks in the AL since Pedro Martinez fan 49 without walking. Got back in 2000.
I mean, that's the longest streak since 2000.
2000, right. That's his first walk, and he had struck out 46 batters. Very impressive.
Stay tuned after the ball game for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. If you missed any of the action early, we'll go back and show you all the highlights. And we'll talk with one of the heroes, providing the Indians can hang on here today. They lead it 4-2. And looking for Chris Perez. Will be coming on in the 9th inning. The Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show can be seen exclusively on Sports Time Ohio. For those of you watching here on Channel 3, the Stanley Cup playoffs continue next. Caps and Rangers.
Have you had a chance to watch any of them yet?
No.
How's your Penguins doing?
I think they're 1-1. And I think they play today or tonight. Not sure. 1-1.
I know what you're watching on the plane.
Yeah, hopefully, huh? Maybe one of the greatest inventions of our time, the direct TV on planes.
Yeah, it is when you're traveling. That's for sure.
Carlos Santana homered in his first at bat. A couple of ground outs since then. And out in front again. 2-2. Chu, the runner at first with one out. Koji Ihara. Santana's got something in his eye. And he got him. 2 down in the inning. First strikeout for Uhara. And we'll bring up Travis Hafner. Pronk homered his last time up. He got a ball down and in that he just somehow was able to dig it out, and he launched it into right field. That's his 4th home run this year for Hafner. He has 2 more hits today. So that makes him 5 for 9 in this series with 2 home runs. I beg your pardon, 6 for 9. Outside. There's a home run earlier.
Watch him then go down and dig it out. My goodness. We talk about dropping the bat head on a baseball. He did it right there.
A little bit outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, you and I noticed it pretty much right away for Hafner. Much better eye at the plate, and maybe that's just a confidence factor, but doesn't seem to be chasing those close pitches away anymore.
Well, a good example was in his first at bat when he pulled a home run. I mean, hit it way foul off Brad Burgesson, and then you know what? He ended up working the bat. He fouled off a couple of more pitches, got it deep in the count 3-2, and he slapped a good pitch down on the way to left field for a single. To me, that was a good at bat.
Didn't miss by much, but it's 3-1.
When a pitcher makes a great pitch on you to get you out and you slap it the other way for a base hit, that's when he says, well, I got to tip my cap. Or you force him to come inside on you the next time, thinking, well, if he can hit my best pitch down and away, then I'm going to have to pitch you inside, and that's when you can end up turning on a baseball.
3-1 pitch. And a good off-speed delivery by Uhara, 79 miles an hour, and you could see Hafner was looking for the express.
Yeah, you look for the fastball, you get that changeup, so he's going to be out in front, so that's a good pitch. So now you step out, you refocus.
Well, the old saying, if you throw it 3-1, you throw it 3-2. And it's ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning for Uhara. And 2 on, 2 out for Orlando Cabrera.
Rare occasion. Not only 1 walk, but something? 2 walks.
No. Orlando Cabrera had a big 2-run homer yesterday that gave the Indians some much needed cushion late. And now you'd settle for another run. A little RBI hit right here would be ideal.
Well, you always love to add on late in the game if you can. But, you know, as a pitcher's job and a bullpen's job, when you're falling behind, you never want to give up a late run. Give that offense a chance. You're only down 2, so that way if you get one guy on, you got that tying run coming to the plate.
Orlando takes a strike. Cabrera 1 for 3. He singled and then came around to score in the 4th inning with 2 outs on a base hit by Travis Buck. But it was an error that allowed Cabrera to get into scoring position.
And it was also a 2-out, run scored where they have 7 in the series.
Throw down to second base, but Chu able to get back standing. By the way, Travis Hafner with that walk has reached safely in 5 of his last 6 plate appearances. So Pronk staying locked in right now offensively. Orlando's bat explodes and the ball goes foul up the right side. Big chunk of the barrel of his bat just disintegrated on him.
What's he got, a cupped end there, and he hit it off the end and it splintered?
Yep.
That's exactly. Watch, he's got a cupped end, and you hit it off the end on that changeup, and then a piece of the bat flies off. That all goes to kindling wood. Tony Amato's house for the wintertime.
Save all the gas and heating bills. 1-2. Outside and low. Angels now lead the White Sox 3-0 at U.S. Cellular Field. There in the 5th inning in Chicago on the south side. Back over the screen. Tigers in action in Oakland later today. Minnesota on top of Tampa Bay 4-2 down in St. Pete. They're in the 6th inning. Kansas City, Seattle, they are scoreless in the 5th at Kauffman Stadium. Each team has just 2 hits so far in that game. 2-2 pitch from Uhara. And it's up and in, ball 3. Are you kidding me? Might we see him walk 3 guys in 1 inning?
No, he's going to throw a strike here. I don't think so.
He's a little bit perplexed. He walked behind the mound, took the cap off, ran his hand through his hair. Runners will be off with a 3-2 pitch to Orlando Cabrera. And a swing and a miss. Uhara comes back to strike him out. And we'll go to the 9th. Indians 3 outs from a sweep. Oh, baby. We go to the 9th inning here at Progressive Field. 4-2 Indians on top, and Chris Perez will come on to try to nail down the save for Cleveland. Trying to go a perfect 5 for 5 to start the year. And he will be facing hitters 3, 4, and 5. Derek Lee to lead it off. Fly ball center field. Grady Sizemore. Believe it or not, with all the offensive damage he's done, that's his first put out today.
Well, that's nice to get that one done too, but you also like it first pitch, 1 pitch, 1 out, starting off that 9th inning.
I'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero, 1 out of 3 on the day.
Well, I think a lot of times you can think that way. When Fausto's pitching as an outfielder, you don't expect to get many fly balls.
That's true.
Well, on a good day, and it was a good day for Fausto.
Chu's had 3 fly balls in right field. There's another sky-high pop. Cabrera out, but then he's going to give way to Chu, and then Grady converges, and Chu goes to a knee to make the catch. You talked about it earlier. There's not a cloud in the sky. It looks like they're having a little bit of trouble on certain fly balls with the sun.
Well, you know, they're talking to each other now. I mean, it's just one of those tough days, man. You got the sun and the wind to deal with.
Probably talking about who has a better look at it coming in that situation.
I don't think Grady could have got there. There come the glasses. Chu did. A lot of times that may be the toughest field in the sun right now is right field.
2 down, bases empty here in the 9th inning, and Luke Scott drove in a run his last time up with a sac fly. Swung on and missed. Out of play. Right now, Tribe riding high. They lead it 4-2 in the 9th. Base is empty, 2 down. No balls, 2 strikes. The count on Luke Scott. Perez fires. And it's high and wide. The 1-2 pitch. Up again. And the count evens at 2-2. Perez versus Scott here with 2 down in the 9th. And the 2-2 pitch just missed, and the count goes full at 3-2. And if Scott gets aboard, Mark Reynolds would be next.
Look like a slider.
Ooh.
Going down and in on the backhand side.
Indians have a shift on for Scott, 3 on the right side. And the payoff pitch right back to the screen. That a good cut.
Well, that's what you figure as a hitter. In this situation, 2-run lead, he's got to throw me a strike. He doesn't want to walk me, so you figure he's going to throw his best pitch. He just missed with that slider, so you look for a fastball.
9 pitches for Perez, 6 have been strikes. And the 3-2 to Scott. Struck him out looking. Scott can't believe it. But believe this, the Indians are 11-4. It's their 3rd sweep of the year. And Chris Perez is a perfect 5 for 5 in save situations. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Orioles have now lost 7 in a row. Winning pitcher today, Fausto Carmona. He's on the board. His first win of the year. He's now 1-2. As I mentioned, Perez saved number 5. Losing pitcher Brad Burgesson, who is now 0-2. And Grady Sizemore, the big story of the day, back in the lineup, contributing with a home run and a double. And it's time now for our play of the game. It's brought to you by KeyBank. Thanks for making KeyBank the #1 bank in Northeastern Ohio.
How about the 3rd inning, 2nd at-bat of the year in a long time for Grady Sizemore at the big league level. He puts a swing on it. Boy, it had to be a great feeling for him to just jog around the bases. His first home run of the year, and added a double to that game. So it's great to see him back in the lineup. That's going to be our KeyBank key play of the day.
So how about these Cleveland Indians? They just keep rolling along. Another sweep for the Tribe. 11-4. They've won 11 of their last 13 games. And we're back with all the highlights on the Conrad's postgame show over on Sports Time Ohio. For those of you watching here on Channel 3, stay tuned for the Stanley Cup playoffs. For Rick Manning, I'm Matt